Hey, what's up, fam, and welcome back to Oba's Trending Gist. Today, we are diving into a moment from Channels TV Politics Today that has everyone talking. You know how a simple phrase can sometimes unlock a much bigger conversation? Well, that's exactly what happened. The president reportedly told state governors to go and wet the ground. I hope you all remember that statement the president made. A metaphor for getting to work and easing the economic hardship on the people. Seun Okinbaloye asked the legal titan and human rights activist Femi Falana SAN for his thoughts, but Falana's response, it went far beyond just explaining a metaphor. He used it as a launchpad to deliver a powerful fact-based critique of the entire system. It was less of an answer and more of a masterclass in holding power to account. So let's get into it first. Let's watch the clip. So sit back and take a watch.
But it's taking some difficulties this evening. But now I can hear you. The president directed the governors, go and wet the grass. What do you make of that statement?
Well, I think the president was asking the APC governors to wet the ground more, which implies that some wetting of the ground has taken place. But as far as the masses of our people are concerned, things are getting tougher by the day because of the harsh economic crisis in the country, which the president recognized on that occasion, that Nigerians in the all over the country are complaining that things are getting tougher for them. And therefore, the president was appealing to the governors, APC governors, to wet the ground more. With profound respect, I think the matter has gone beyond appealing to governors and other stakeholders in the system. The National Social Investment Program Agency Act of 2023 has imposed a duty on the federal government to fund adequately the Empower program, the Youth Enterprises Youth Entrepreneurship Government Enterprises and Empowerment Program, National Homegrown School Feeding Program, and the Conditional Cash Transfer. These programs are designed to alleviate poverty as far as poor people are concerned. And when we are talking about poverty-stricken Nigerians, we are talking of over 133 multidimensional poor people. And so you cannot, the government cannot justify voting 32 billion naira, 32.7 billion naira to take care of over 133 million multidimensionally poor people. And so that is why we're asking the government, having regards to the fact that 469 members of the National Assembly, apart from their salaries, humongous salaries of 21 million to a senator per month, 15 million to a House of Rep member per month, they also inserted into the 2025 budget, the 469 members of the National Assembly, 11,000 items valued at 6.9 trillion naira. And that is why I'm saying there can be no basis not to allocate at least 5 trillion naira this year to address increasing poverty in the land. And that is not all. And why the president's speech is so important is that it was addressing APC governors, 23 of them. And we have been told by the leadership of the APC that more governors are going to swell the ranks of the ruling party. The implication is therefore that the government should be able, the president should be able, as the leader of his party, to persuade the governors to go back to their states and codify the social investment programs, adopt them and enact them into laws so that citizens who feel ostracized economically can go to court and compel the government to carry out its duty under the law. So we must go beyond appealing to the governors. Two, there are other laws in the country that requires the government, laws that are made possible.
Did you all catch that? Let's break down what Femi Falana just said there, because it was brilliant. First, he acknowledged the president's statement. He said, yes, the president is essentially admitting that people are suffering and is asking his APC governors to do something about it. But then, he pivoted immediately, and this is the key part. He says, with all due respect, the time for appealing is over. Falana's argument is that tackling poverty isn't a favor the government does for the people. It is a legal and constitutional duty. He mentioned the National Social Investment Program Act of 2023. This isn't just a policy, it is a law that compels governments to fund programs like the End Power, the school feeding program, and cash transfer to the poor. Then he brings out the receipts. This is where the gist gets hot. He contrasts the government's duty to the poor with the mind-boggling amount of money allocated to the political class. He mentioned 133 million Nigerians living in multi-dimensional poverty. The fact that 469 members of the National Assembly allegedly inserted over 11,000 items into the budget, valued at a staggering 6.9 trillion naira. He contrasts that with the 32.7 billion voted to take care of those same 469 people. Do you see the disconnect he's painting? He's saying, how can you be appealing to governors to help the poor when the system you oversee is allocating trillions of projects for a selected few? His solution, he's not just complaining, he's demanding that at least 5 trillion naira be allocated this year to directly address poverty through the legal established programs. And he wants governors to pass these social investment programs into state laws so that if a governor fails to implement them, citizens can take them to court and demand their rights. He's moving the conversation from political pleas to legal demands. Okay, that's the analysis. So now, here is my own take on Oba's trending gist. Femi Falana is 100% on point. The wet the grass comment, while perhaps well-intentioned, highlights a fundamental problem in Nigerians' governance, a crisis of priority. It feels like the leaders are living in a completely different reality from the citizens they govern. The president appealing to his own party's governors is very telling. It suggests a lack of direct control or a way to shift responsibility. Is he saying, I've done my part at the federal level, now it's on you? Or is he acknowledging that the federal government alone cannot solve this crisis? But Falana's point is stronger. The resources are there, honestly. It's not a question of a lack of money. It is a question of where that money is going. When you hear a figure like 6.9 trillion naira for constituency projects in a country with over 133 million poor people, it's impossible not to be outraged. It shows that the system is designed to service itself first. And his idea of codifying these rights into state laws is powerful. Imagine if you could actually sue your state government for failing to provide basic social safety nets. It would change the entire dynamic from citizens begging for help to citizens demanding their legal entitlements. However, let's be realistic. The challenge isn't just passing the laws, it's enforcement. How many of these 133 million people have the means or the knowledge to sue the government? That's a huge hurdle. But the principle is what matters. It's about shifting the mindset from government as a benevolent father figure to government as a service provider with legal obligations. So a simple phrase, wet the grass, has peeled back the layer on Nigerians' deep-seated economic challenges and disconnect at the hearts of its politics. Femi Falana didn't just give an interview, he delivered a call to action. But what do you guys think? Is Femi Falana right? Is the president's appeal to governors enough, or is it time for more drastic legal-backed action? And what do you think is the real solution to this hardship? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I really want to hear from you on this one. Don't forget to like this video. If you found it insightful, share it so many people can join the conversation, and most importantly, subscribe to Oba's Trending Gist for more breakdown of the stories that truly matters. I am Oba, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.